Next topic, different forms of trafficking, sexual assault, forced prostitution, and here social and religious prostitution existing in the earlier days, Devadasi system, Matangi system, Devadasi system existing in olden days, but it is now a crime in the society. And here many of the writings and many of the obscene pictures, watching pornography, all these activities comes under the unlawful activities in the society. Trafficking of children and involving them in the begging for money especially, and beating them to obey to this crime, and sometimes children are made physically handicapped by removing their body parts. We've seen in many of the serials, web series and cinemas. So they are removing their body parts intentionally and made them to beg on the streets. So this is one of the illegal organizations are running these activities. Body parts, removing body parts is one of the sin. Removing body parts for the children and doing business also. So, or organs, illegal business. So, children forced to sell their narcotics and drugs. They are as a laborers. They are using as a laborers. Next, beggar system existing in the olden days. It is called as vetti chakri. Vetti forced children to work without making proper payments or not providing nutritious food, cloth, and not treated them as a human beings at least. It is also a crime. And next, domestic labor, washing cloth, cleaning the houses and utensils below the age of 12 years. So, different forms of trafficking. Sexual assault. First one is forced prostitution. Actually, they are not accepted. Unfortunately, they are forced and they are trapped by the mafia or some of the illegal bodies in the society. They are forced for prostitution. They are try to accept for the prostitution, and some social and religious prostitution also existing in olden days, like Devadasa system, Matangi system, and next one is obscene pictures and some of the activities against the laws. All these are against the law. And trafficking of children and involving them in the begging for money. This is also a crime. It is seen in many of the metropolitan cities and very posh cities. And children are beating them to obey. Children are beating and obey, and they are also committing a crime. So children are made physically handicapped by removing their body parts and make them to beg in the streets. So this is one of the again illegal activity. And removing body parts and doing business. Children, they are tortured and they are removing the body parts and doing the business with that body parts, very prominent organs in the body. And children forced to sell narcotics and drugs as a laborers. So this is also one of the illegal practice. Vetti chakri. This is beggar system existing in those days, but vetti chakri for the children. Forcing children to work without making proper payments and not providing nutritious food at all, at least cloth, no proper shelter, and not treating even as a human beings. So this is also one of the crime. Domestic violence, like domestic laborers, like washing cloth, cleaning the houses, unbearable works, and cleaning utensils without proper wages, and interesting work in neighbors' houses also. It is also one of the crime again. And agricultural laborers, children are involving in agriculture in very tender ages. Agricultural laborers involving in agriculture work and exploiting them for more physical work, more than their capacity, because children are very, very sensitive in their physical structure. So construction works also. Labor involves in the construction works of building roads, bridges, dams, many of the constructions with nominal payments and providing them with substandard food, very less quality food, substandard food, and sadistic pleasure. This is it's one of the sadistic pleasure by the people, by the stupids in the society, and trying of the children on camels and making them for entertainment, and so many of the circus movements and many of the marriages and adapted with their consent. Generally people bear injustice and violence, but never inform and consent authority to take the help of law. People are watching everything in the society. They don't have the social responsibility to take away from violence and sufferings. So in such cases, the sufferers who are suffocating a lot, The sufferers must inform to the local police station or NGO, non-governmental organization, for protection and care. And here, forcible prostitution. Very forcible prostitution is an offence. We discussed already. Such prostitutes are called sex workers. These prostitutes are called sex workers. They are working for that illegal activities. So there are many acts for their protection. Police has no power to beat or punish actually, but what happens here, in the name of enquiry, actually they need the permission, there is some of the limitations for the police department. In here, along with the sex workers are brothel houses. In very common language, brothel houses. Brothel house keepers are also liable for the punishment with 2 to 3 years of imprisonment and penalty up to 10,000 rupees. But here the local bodies are supervising here, but local bodies and local representatives are ignoring some of the areas. These illegal practices are existing still. So using houses or rooms or taking out, giving a rooms for rent purpose for the prostitution is also an offence actually. In our knowledge, okay. If anyone is forced to practice in sexual intercourse with someone, it is also punishable. It's punishable. So it is. We have some of the customs. We have some of the traditions and customs. Apart from tradition customs, we have the laws, restricted laws and regulations and rules in our society. So here, after protecting the victims, what happened? After protecting victims, they should be presented before the magistrate. It is very compulsory. Magistrate, they should be presented before the magistrate after required medical treatment, and inquiry is to be taken up by the women police officer. Again here one more restriction. This total inquiry is to be taken up by women police officer or non-governmental organization. Non-government organization, NGO. In short, we used to call NGO. And action should be taken for protection of the victim. If the victims are children, they will send to Bala Sadans. Bala Sadans under the supervision of the government. Bala Sadans, and the rescued person shall be given full protection and care and respect. Here, there is no ill treatment or any other insults in this Bala Sadan. They, by their consent, this is totally under the supervision of government. If the rescued person are children, they may be provided accommodation. They need, because children need accommodation and special nutrition and protection, right? So they may be provided accommodation in child protection homes. Special some homes are made available for the orphan children, orphanages. So they are provided with good education, food and health shall be taken care of. So here, this is punishment again. The punishment is 7 years. 7 years rigorous punishment for life along with penalty. If they are practicing immoral activities, any unjust, unlawful practices in the society, immoral activities, immoral trafficking, without warrant, without any warrant, police officers shall investigate the case and collect the necessary details to protect the trafficked children, those who are trapped under some culprits. So trafficked children without any warrant or any other prior documents, they can punish, they can arrest, and they can be accused.